Welcome back to the Route Pro vlog down under as we explore Australia and New Zealand. This morning I am sitting on this little bench all by itself. There's a sunrise. It's kind of early here and it's just an incredible view. So I am in New Zealand. I am north of Auckland and just kind of found this little pathway. A little spooky, but right on top of this cliff. Unbelievable sights. Not much dry cleaning to talk about, but just thought if you ever had a chance to get to New Zealand, this is what you might experience. You ever feel like you're knocking on doors and you're just in the middle of a barren wasteland? That's kind of what's happened to me today. I am in Rotorua. It is in New Zealand. And what's kind of cool about this place, it's full of kind of volcanic activity. So that's kind of what sales are about. You know, sometimes you got to persevere. You got to walk the walk and talk the talk. You know, I'm known as the knock father, maybe for one reason only. I never stop trying, I never stop learning. You put those two together, and I think you're always going to be successful. Because here we are, I achieved my goal. I walked a long way to see the Champlain Pool, one of the prettiest spots in all of Earth. Travel Advisor puts it as one of the top 10 places you should visit. And if you can look at it, there's some orange, it's green, that steam coming off. And there's some pink and red right there. This is one of the coolest places on Earth. Like I said, it's just like sales. You know where you want to go. You kind of have a pathway to success. But if you don't persevere, if you don't take the steps necessary, if you don't follow the map, follow the Route Pro game plan, you may struggle. But I'm telling you what, it is well worth it. Well, here it is, the green lake I was talking about. You know, if you stay the course, stay the path, and like Jason St. Pierre says, it works because it works, you will get the green too. Just beautiful.
There you go, John.
We are at Master Cleaners. There's Renee, there's Greg.
Hi.
Hi.
And I'm going to be riding with both of them these next 2 days.
Another Monday.
And it's kind of this neat alley, old-fashioned Melbourne, Australia alley. Oh, what side do I get on? I get on over here.
Yeah, get on the wrong side, John.
These are always fun ride-alongs.
Wrong side. It's so noisy now.
So I am downtown, kind of an old part of Australia in Melbourne. And I'm here, you can see the dry cleaner sold in an auction. Very common now that even in Australia, Australians are having auctions. And here's my award-winning driver right here. And yes, I have to get on this side. But again, if you're not doing pickup and delivery, that's going to be you. Peg and I are walking back from the Spotswoody Hotel, kind of a cool looking building. And again, a typical situation here in Australia. Single level buildings downtown. And I'm at Tats, which is a very popular kind of convenience store. And again, it's very typical that they have dry cleaning, and again, a 5-shirt price. So 5 shirts, that's actually pretty cheap here, $16.95. So again, if you're wanting to open up a dry cleaner here in Australia, you're going to have to come up with a 5 shirt price, which is kind of cool. That way you're always getting 5 shirts, but that's about all you get sometimes. So continuing our journey here in Spotswoody, Australia. To be clear, agencies are just another word for kind of having a little closet or a rack inside a convenience store. But what you notice a lot is 3 garment price or 5 shirt price in Australia. Peg and I recently drove through Kansas and saw a bunch of ghost towns, and it kind of reminded me of what's going on in the dry cleaning industry. I'm here in Melbourne, Australia, at another dry cleaning facility where these machines lay dormant. You know, this is what's happening in the dry cleaning industry. You know, back in the day, these mom and pop operations were able to sustain business and to be profitable. But now, unfortunately, without the use of routes, they are unable to grow. And we get stuck with people like this.
Hi. Hi. Good night.
Yeah, very typical down here. So it becomes a drop store. And so, again, that's another reason why we say do routes right or not at all. One interesting thing about marketing in Australia is you can actually hire people. If you can see this guy down here, he's stuffing mailboxes. And that is legal here in Australia. So obviously it's something that you think would work like direct mail and stuff. Doesn't work here either. They do it here at Master Cleaners. And as I'm with Renee, as you can see, she has stuffed a lot of mailboxes in her day and nothing. So even though it's legal to stick flyers in mailboxes here, still doesn't work. Still got to do face-to-face sales. I am here at DCCS headquarters, believe it or not. Yes, DCCS is actually the computer system here in Australia. And I'm also right in the middle of a plant called Elite Dry Cleaners. So kind of tells you, if you look at the alley, they kind of got to drive by. Very common here in Australia, very tight spaces. But again, DCCS, that is Carl Shahady and David Hudson, who looks more like Dennis Quaid. Good morning from down under, another segment of the Route Pro vlog, as I am down here in Melbourne, kind of a suburb of Melbourne. And you can tell just kind of that old Australian style. Looks kind of like an old Western, but again, keep in mind, Australia is only a couple hundred years old. And I'm working with Master Cleaners, another form of Master. And it's a really great facility here. You know, when you're looking at all the diversity that happens across the country here in Australia, only 4% of people in Australia are good dry cleaning customers, if you would call it that. So obviously market share is very important. They have these type of vans that are made in China, a little different. And it looks like the driver has done a little bumper pull. When you're out there doing door-to-door in Australia, it's not that you actually bring dog treats with you. You bring kangaroo treats. These things aren't out there as much as you think. But when they are, some of them are actually pretty sweet. So don't forget, here in Australia, not only carry dog treats with you, but get yourself a package of kangaroo treats as well. Regardless of what you might believe or think, you don't see a lot of kangaroos jumping around, the side of the streets. They're like deer in the United States. Sure, they pop up here and there, but they're not everywhere like it's kind of portrayed. One of the things that's kind of cool about these, there's 3 different types of really kangaroos. Some of them are from Kangaroo Island. They have a little bit different look. The one I was feeding there is a grayback. This is a redback kangaroo. They're not quite as friendly or trustworthy. They're kind of protective. What they also have a lot of is what's called wallabies. And these are really small versions of kangaroos. And this is about the size they get. They get maybe just a hair bigger. This one was actually carrying a little Joey in its pouch, but I was unable to really get a good video of it. But she was still friendly enough to come up for me to feed her. And as you can tell, they're pretty trustworthy of humans in some of these parks. They're kind of controlled parks. Obviously, I wasn't just out there going door to door and finding these things kind of running around. Now, this little creature I didn't get a video of, but it's called a potoroo, and it's really best way to describe it, it's half rat and half wallaby. Very friendly as well. Little ugly creatures. They have a pouch, so they have little joeys as well. But I did feed them, but kind of neglected to get some video. And, you know, they look just like a rat and a kangaroo. They have dingoes as well, and regardless of what you might think, they really don't go around and eat babies, but they are very dangerous. It's kind of like half wolf and half dog. Australia is very protective of their wildlife and of their birds. So they consider dogs and dingoes and cats, you know, animals of prey, and they don't like them around. When you're in Australia, you know, obviously we talk about dog treats or dingo treats and kangaroo treats. But when it comes to this special creature, you just need bamboo shoots. Koalas don't eat much food other than leaves, and also don't pet them on the head if you come across one. Always pat their backside, kind of like coaching. One little creature that I saw was this Tasmanian devil. Tasmania is actually a little island a little south and east of Australia, and it is actually a state. It's one of their states. Tasmanian devil's not like the cartoon. He doesn't run around crazy, but he is evil. He does have pretty big teeth and pretty sharp claws, so you definitely want to leave him alone. What's really cool about Australia is you often see little quotes hanging around. I love this one right up here. Take ownership when you struggle. It's all part of business. Mark's going to be coming to Australia here pretty soon, and one thing he's going to fall in love with is the jacaranda trees. These are pretty common in a lot of parts of Australia, but just these beautiful purple trees, and you can see they go all over the place. But Mark, you will definitely enjoy the jacarandas. My favorite story about Australia was the first time I visited. I was at a dry cleaning conference, and everybody asked me if I worked with Carl Shahady, and I'm going, well, yes, I do. Carl Shahady is in Providence, Rhode Island, and he's one of the sharpest owners, one of our original clients. And they said, well, gosh, Carl has got, 30 stores here in Adelaide and 10 or so in Brisbane and several routes. And I'm going, wait a minute, Carl's holding out on us. We never knew that. Little did I know that it was Carl Shahady, and Carl with a K and spelled a little bit different than our good friend Carl Shahady in Providence. But it was still kind of brought how close dry cleaning and routes are and everything when one of the leading dry clean owners in Australia is Carl Shahady, and one of our all-time best clients is Carl Shahady. One thing that's different about Australia is Hungry Jack's instead of Burger King. Even the Taco Bells are different here. They actually serve beer and margaritas. So I'm with my Plus dry cleaning home laundry client. They have little Volkswagen Caddies, pretty common. This gentleman's got a lot of laundry to deliver today. A little bit of dry cleaning, a lot of laundry. Future of wash, dry, fold, and laundry is here too. So if you ever think that it's not worth going after, here's a perfect example. As we visited one of our favorite stops in New Zealand, Hobbiton, where they filmed The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, I was reminded of a lot of sales and marketing basics. Number one is just the beautiful landscape. When you're outside, it's really kind of the one cool part of our job that we get to get in and out of the van, enjoy the landscape. Also, go after big tunas. There's 44 houses on the set, but the biggest tuna is Bilbo Baggins. Sometimes you have to get some of the little fish to get some of the big tunas. Also, look for signs of life and signs of love. It's an oldie but a goodie. A lot of flowers planted here, so they obviously enjoy where they live, and chances are they'll enjoy you coming to the door, making their life easier. Also, be attentive to the details. The devil's in the details. The tree you see is above Bilbo Baggins' house. This took 9 months to build for only 24 seconds of airtime, 240 hand-glued leaves. That's how important it is in sales. As you kind of see the whole set, opportunity knocks. There's 44 houses there. Not all of them would we ever sign up on the route, but it's just beautiful. Have fun with it. This is a cheese shop, and it doesn't mean be cheesy or funny, but have fun. Enjoy what you do. Be creative. They are very creative on the set of this. Again, you look at how creative they were. Be pleasant. The only way that I'm going to get close to a koala and maybe close to a cell is to be pleasant. Also, be patient. Sometimes it takes a couple times to follow up. Again, to feed the wallaby, I had to be patient and let him come to me. Be yourself. The Tasmanian devil might be a little bit ugly, but he's cute in his own way. But be yourself. It betters your chance of selling. Also, set big goals, whether it's how many starts you're going to get. Carl Shahadi has overtaken Adelaide and looks to go to Brisbane as well. They think big, dream big, and they are big. And finally, keep it simple. The KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. Their website, is simple. Their phone number is simple. Their fan is simple. Do the same with your sales and marketing pieces. Well, that's going to do it for this awesome vlog, or Aussie-Some vlog. I am in Sydney, just in my quick layover, and quite a shopping experience. If you ever have a chance to get to Australia, I highly recommend it. The food is incredible, the scenery is incredible, really good people, and just a really good time. Spend at least a couple of weeks for sure. Hope you enjoy our vlogs. If you have anything you want us to do, whether it's sales tips, operational tips, just let us know down below.